Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Happy. Today we're going to be talking about this DLC, Remind DLC. Alright, there's some breaking news about this, so stick around for that. Alright, guys, so recently Tetsuya Nomura, as you guys know, is the creator and director of Kingdom Hearts 3, has gone to say that Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind DLC will have about the same amount of bosses as Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, and that he plans to release it as soon as possible. So we're actually going to look into this, exactly what he's talking about, because this is big news. I originally thought that we were going to get something kind of similar, but not as similar as Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. So if you guys haven't played Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, and this is your first time playing Kingdom Hearts like in general, then just know that in Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, off the top of my head, we had at least 15 bosses, alright? We had the whole Organization 13, we had the Lingering Will, which is basically Terra's armor. You actually got to see it in the game if you finished the game. Yeah, we got to fight him. He was extremely difficult. And we also got Sephiroth, right? So that's 15 right off the top of my head. Now, on top of that, I think there was 4 additional bosses that you actually got to play with, which is Marluxia. You got to fight him. You got to fight Larxene. You got to fight Vexen, maybe Sexion, and maybe Lexaeus. I think those were called Absent Silhouettes. So maybe 19, 20, roughly. I'm not 100% sure on that, but just know that it's a lot of bosses basically that we're gonna have to fight, right? So in this interview, he actually said that we're gonna get a very similar amount of bosses, right? And he also right here will read the very first quote. Nomura has stated that recently announced strongest class limit cut boss from Remind was not shown in the Remind trailer. The trailer only shows elements from the additional scenario. So again, there's going to be, I believe, more than one thing, right? There's an additional scenario to what we already have. And then there's also going to be something called class limit cut, right? Or I think it's like a separate type of thing. I'm not 100% sure. I roughly read it, but I know that it's not just basically what we saw in the trailer, that there's also extra footage, there's also extra places that we're gonna get to go, and that's part of what we're gonna get to see in a second or so. Okay, so we'll read the second thing. Sora's Oathkeeper Keyblade in new form will release simultaneously with Remind as free DLC. So does that mean that the DLC will be free, or that the Oathkeeper will be free? That's actually something to think about there. But I think it's the latter, maybe. I think it's just the DLC will be free. So, I mean, I think it's the former, where it's just the Oathkeeper Keyblade will be free. And I think that you still have to pay for the DLC, but hey, they'll just throw the Oathkeeper your way. Hey, congratulations, you got the Oathkeeper now. The new form, I guess, is the reason why it says new form is because they don't want to reveal it yet, what it is. I don't think that that's the actual final name of it. I think that that's just a placeholder name for it, like new form. You know what I'm saying? So there's that to think about, okay? The last thing is, well, not the last thing, the third thing is the number of bosses in Remind will be roughly as many as there were in Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. This is what I was talking about, right? Again, you have to fight the Organization 13, that's 13 bosses. You got the Lingering Will, and you have Sephiroth. So I'm going to say minimum of 15 bosses. And that's a lot. Maybe you'll do the same in this game. You know, maybe you'll fight the 13, and then you'll find a couple of additional bosses. Maybe one in the class limit cut thing, whatever, and the other one will be probably another boss that has to do with the extended scenario thing. Maybe, who knows, right? So here it says, as stated, alright, the fourth thing says, as stated previously, the DLC will include the additional Remind scenario. Yes, this is what I was talking about. So it's an additional scenario to like the whole thing with Kingdom Hearts 3, right? And a limit cut episode. That's what I'm talking about. Episode. That I kept trying to remember what to call it, but that's what it's called. A limit cut episode. And bosses. See how it says bosses? right? In the limit cut episode, bosses, meaning that there's more than one boss, and also a secret episode. Oh, so we got the scenario from Remind. We got a limit cut episode, and also a secret episode and bosses. So there's like 3 parts to this. It's not just gonna be one thing and then that's it. Apparently there's 3 parts to it. So you got, again, let's go over it. We're gonna have the Remind scenario, right? I'm gonna guess that has to do with the whole storyline. That has to do with what they were showing, where it's Lushu and the Master of Masters talking to, Xehanort. Maybe we'll find out why Xehanort has the eyes that he has, because if you look at the original trailer, he has great eyes again. So maybe we'll look into that, and maybe after that we'll have this limit cut episode, much like we had in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. We had that episode right after the end of it, where you got to play with Aqua in the Realm of Darkness, right? Maybe something like that. And on top of that, we're gonna get a secret episode, which you may be able to unlock in a way, right? Because at the end of this, you'll see what I'm talking about unlocking stuff, right? And in a way, that's what you had to do also with Birth by Sleep. You had to unlock that episode with Aqua all the way at the end. It's not like they gave it to you for free. It's not like it was part of the story or whatever. You had to beat the game with everybody. Then after that, after you beat the game with everybody, there were certain requirements that you had to do and stuff like that. So you had to unlock basically the secret episode and all of that, right? So this might be the same thing. This might be somehow along the lines of that had to do with Birth by Sleep. All right. So the 5th thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. Although there isn't a proper release date yet, aside from this winter, Nomura wants to release Remind quickly, and not too close to Final Fantasy VII Remake release in March of 2020. So that means that, luckily for us, we're going to get this before March of 2020, which is great. Right? Hopefully, I'm hoping that they hit maybe December 2019. I mean, it will be exactly more or less a year, right, since the whole thing happened. So yeah, maybe 2019. Who knows? That would be pretty neat, right? If they release it in the winter, where people are pretty much not doing anything. All right, and then the 6th thing. This is what I was talking about, like unlocking things, right? It says Roxas can be selected after. Again, the word there is after advancing through the additional scenarios, like Riku and Aqua. Also Riku and Aqua, you will be able to select them after advancing through the additional scenarios. So you'll be able to unlock all 4. By all 4, I mean Sora, Roxas, Riku, and Aqua, right? Like, you'll be able to play all 4 of them instead of just, Sora. That's something to think about right there, guys. That's something very important to think about. And besides Roxas, Riku, and Aqua, will it be an additional character? I know a lot of people are out here like, yo, we want to play Kairi. We really do want to play with Kairi, but I don't know, man. I don't know. In all honesty, I honestly think that they're going to leave basically the whole play game stage with who we already got to play with. Even though we didn't really get to play with Roxas, so it is a possibility at the end of the day. I guess it is a possibility. Which brings me to my questions. Would you like to play with Kairi? Like, on the real, would you actually want to play with Kairi? I would really like to know that. Or who would you like to play with? Like, me personally, I was a big fan of Ventus and the way he gets to play and everything. Ventus and King Mickey. Those are my 2 favorite people to actually play with. Their combos are insane. They're very quick pace. They're very freaking nimble. They're amazing characters to play with. So if I had to pick personally, I would pick either Ventus or Mickey. Oh, also Roxas. Yeah, now that I think about it, I really did like playing Roxas in 350 out of 2 days. Yeah, for you guys who never play Kingdom Hearts 358 out of 2 days, when Roxas gets those 2 Keyblades, the Oathkeeper and Oblivion, bruh, it's freaking over, yo. Roxas though, Roxas though, bro, I can't wait to play with him. Let's just put it like that. I cannot wait to play with this man. This man was beast mode. All right, he made Valor Form look like trash. All right, that's how good he was. All right. Finally, it says additional scenarios are independent of and can be enjoyed after clearing the main story. Alright, so that means that they'll probably have like a theater mode, right? They had that again in Birth by Sleep. They had like a theater mode type of thing. I don't know if Kingdom Hearts 3 has it. I gotta look into it. Probably does. But that's what they mean by this. Additional scenarios and independent of and can be enjoyed after clearing. Oh, wait a minute. They're not talking about just the movies and stuff. They're talking about the actual gameplay of it. So like if you go to play the additional scenarios or whatever, you're actually able to do this. Oh, that's pretty neat. Oh, sorry about that. That is something that is pretty freaking neat. And it's something that I'm actually looking forward to. Which brings me to my questions. What are you looking forward to the most in this Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC? Me personally, I can't wait to play with Roxas. So I want to know exactly what you're looking forward to, all right? And before I go today, I just wanted to give a big shout out to my fiance. Today's her birthday. She turned 25 years old today, which is an amazing, amazing year. It's really amazing. She's been a hell of a woman. She's been staying by my side, and I don't know how she does it, honestly, y'all. I really don't. But she puts up with me, and I really love her to death. So sorry, ladies out there who had your heart set on Rattata. Lady Rattata has already taken that place. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today and checking out my, I guess, report really into Kingdom Hearts DLC. I really appreciate y'all. All right. Remember, stay happy. Rattata. Have a nice day.
Yeah.